How was it for you visiting a country that's in a war? Like for you, what did you have in mind?
I mean, how much time do you have? How much time do we have?
Time.
Because
we got time.
When no, for real. First of all, you get there and you wonder where the war is. You're like, I promise. I left when CNN is saying there is war. I left when Fox News is saying there is war. Where is the war? Show me the war. Why is it? I mean, my mom was praying. I called her. I said, it's okay, chill. Like, eat your food here. I mean, people are living their lives. And like I've shared, they have an almost no casualty policy in Israel, because you have the Iron Dome where if you send missiles, the Iron Dome will come and counteract that missile. They'll see it in the sky that has been neutralized. But if ever it is overwhelmed, there are shelters. You can all enter inside the shelter. Yeah. And the way the shelter is structured, even if a missile hits the building, it will hit the entire building, throw the entire building down, but not the shelter.
Wow.
So they have an almost no casualty policy. And if that's the case, you find that they are walking around free. Those that are on the beach are on the beach. I mean, the bars are open, the churches are open, the synagogues are open, everything is open in Israel. I was shocked. I actually remember when we were getting into the Israel airspace, I was just like, we're done for.
Mbade ku YouTube nga ndaba the UG Boy Talk Show. Amazing episode. Amazing podcast. In my opinion, I think, like I've always told you, it's the number one podcast mu ggwanga. Erieri, Bonnie sets the obanjite gold standard, the threshold at which anyone ayagala okukola podcast mu ggwanga, you have to look at it n'ogamba kankole bwente. There's no crime in learning from something good. If something is good, try to observe and pick a few things. Yigamu funamu ekyokuyiga. Amazing episode. Bonnie yahostinze Manuella. Manuella is an amazing speaker. They had a very detailed conversation. Bakwenye ku bintu bingi, motherhood, belief, Christianity. It's an amazing episode. I recommend womala okola video eno ngenda kiteka mu description wansawo, click ogenda ogirabe. Something caught my attention. I was so much interested in one segment where Manuella narrates story where agenda Israel. In a video see aku discussing Palestine, Gaza versus Israel. No, it's not. She goes to Israel nga akoze research. Just like any normal person, if you're traveling anywhere, you must research the place. Tomalaga agenda mbo agenda for ojagwa mombi. She does her research. Watches CNN, watches Fox. Nga agenda mu area jiwandi gambe nti it's one of the hottest areas according to mainstream media. I'm not denying nti Teddy Intalo, yes, wars are there. But if you watch TV, if you watch the likes of BBC, CNN, Fox News, bajja kulaga nti area missiles ziba zikola ziti. Nga we nkugambye no video si ya kudiscussinga Israel versus Palestine, Gaza, ba neighbors. No. We are focusing on ntera kuzita elephants in the room, mainstream media, the narratives that they feed us. Oyinza okugamba these things only happen in the West, BBC, CNN, Fox. You're wrong. Ne woli mu kaseera kano buli wondabira njogera ku Uganda, njogera ku ground. There is a TV station, waliwo amawulire, there's a newspaper feeding you narratives. Chengezako konako bakulaga kye baagala olabe. They are feeding you what they want you to see. They remove the other fine details. Ne bakuwagu story. Ngoyinza ogamba they are molding your thinking. And this has been going on for so long, since we were young. Oyinza ogamba yetwakulya, we never had any options. Nga during my childhood, we only had two. Initially UBC, then later WBS came in. Nga that's what we watch in terms of TV. Amawulire, New Vision has been there. I think Monitor came later, I don't remember well, but the options that were in. nga they are feeding us information. Our fathers, our grandfathers, those ones, basasire. Have pity on them. Atabo bo, they were, mu language yafe tugamba, they were massively brainwashed. Because teba ina option. Nga uja kutula wansi olabe UBC, I think there was Sanyu, if I'm not wrong. Nga choina, nga they are feeding you narratives, bakulaga ebintu, sometimes majority of them were false. They're telling you this thing is happening in this area. In actual sense, nga ogenda ku ground, nothing is happening. I can tell you the number of times wogenda ku internet, njatuka ku internet. Wogenda ku internet, for example, Afghanistan, nga people are telling you things are okay. The likes of North Korea, I know shit is happening down there, but abantu bayo bajja kugamba things are okay. Nenga ujja ku TV, it's blown out of proportion. Ulihakula gambo, oh, this is happening in this area. Mbe chiri, Israel, missile, they are flying all over the place. Chiri, in this area, things are happening like this. It's because of big corporations. They all benefit from this. So they push these agendas. Ngabakosa potozi zabwe, the mainstream, the likes of BBC. Chovola bantu uli gwanga mwogendo genda. There's a BC. We have UBC, Baina BBC, and all other countries have such TVs. Plus, of course, is it jungle private, but in actual sense, they are doing the work of an invisible hand. Abagamba push out this. It happens in every country. In every country. Waliyo amawuli, waliyo magazine, waliyo YouTube channels, waliyo Facebook pages, waliyo TikTok accounts, nga their role is to push a narrative or an agenda given to them by an invisible hand. Ebagamba fulumya kino. Kyamugaso nnyo you keep yourself informed. It's so important you compare information. Do not just believe any nonsense you see online, especially nga biva mu mainstream media. Nti a broadcasting corporation has said wabaddewo akabenje, X number of people have died. Wachirabako sagala kubikomyawo, but a few days ago we had Kapchora, we had the accident ya train. Bus ya train. You could see the numbers eziri in some papers and TV stations were so different from what abantu ku ground chebali bagamba. We see this in elections, in things pushed by the government. In a video saga jifuna political, but chinibula ko chitegera. The corporations, the mainstream medias are telling you this, nenga ku ground bianjawulo mukko. Ku ground the language is so different. People, if we're visiting, for example, Israel, nogenda a Gaza, I know shit happens there. I know things are going on there. Olutalo jiruli, I don't deny that. But ojakusanganga, the scale being reported is so different from the reality. That doesn't mean war is not happening. It's happening. Nature mugaso nnyo filter. Funa sources is reliable. Nkona kuchi. Independent media. Independent media includes ebintu nga YouTube, ebintu nga Facebook, ebintu nga TikTok that are run by people bolowooza nti they are credible. That have given you information over years or over the months nga bakusigire ekifaananyi ekya ddala. Listen to the local people. Social media tuyamba, it came and it disrupted the flow of information. Nti back in the days, eggulu eryafulumanga nerigenda wa editor, sometimes nga editor ali ku payroll y'omuntu, ng'omuntu asasula editor ajja kumugamba kakyuseemu ako. Ekyo tukiyisaawo. Then the information comes out nga eri dilute nnyo. Right now we live in a generation where we are so lucky nti nsolo gena ku TikTok nti oshaba accident eguddewo eggulu. I just grab my phone, I scroll live. Nga ku ground wa boda akugamba nti omutamiivu abadde akuba reverse, omuguwa eddalu nga akola bw'ati, ne beetomera. Nga information ngifunye in a snap. The disruption happened, oyinza okugamba neetutaasaako, but it exists. It exists. Kyolina okumanya, the mainstream media is so rich, balina sente. they can afford to infiltrate na social media. Kino nkigamba waliwo accounts mu ggwanga z'olaba nga they are being run by the mainstream media nga tosobola kumanya nga you can never find out nga they're driving narratives okugamba oba okufeedinga information ey'ekisiro, forgive the language. They're feeding you nonsense, they're feeding you crap. Kya mugaso nnyo you filter, you weigh the information, you compare nti TVX egambye this happened, newspaper Y postinze oba publishinze mbu this story happened. Compare with what's on ground, ofune information eyiyo weekole decision. Lekera okukkiriza omuntu okukulowoleza, especially nga atudde ku TV ayambadde suuti mbu this is how events happened, mbu akalulu kagenziwe kati. Be very careful, better careful nnyo. Kyonna okumanya nti essaawa yonna omuntu ayinza okuba akulimba.
We're finished. And I was seated next to an Israeli and I was like, don't you ever get scared? Like when you're flying? He's like, no, not anymore. I'm like, wow. It looks nothing like there's any war happening. So
it is crazy because I work in aircrafts. I'm an aircraft mechanic. So we have this where we look at airplanes flying wherever around.
Big up, Bonnie. You're doing an amazing job, brother.
Wherever around the country. It's like flight radar. You see all the planes that are in the sky. And you could see like Israel or Iran. There's only a few planes like flying by. But it's the same question I asked myself. Iran is in a war, but they're in a World Cup. They're playing World Cup, like Congo, like things like that. It's like...
No, what I've realized is the media is very deceptive.
Exactly. I was going to say
we
that.
say social media is deceptive, but the media is extremely deceptive because...
I love the term deceptive. Balimba. And this has been going on for so long, for so many years. Manuela makes a point. Social media ina weaknesses zaayo, fake news. Nti omuntu ayinza okupushinga eggulire. Tuli mu era AI. Right now I can cook up a story nengamba person X afudde with very convincing graphics, with very convincing pictures, with very convincing narrations of reputable reporters. Ntambuza ekyuli nengamba omuntu bw'ati afudde. I think you've been following a story of an alleged dead person mu ggwanga nga gatambula ku speed ekika kyewaggulu. Ebintu ng'ebyo. Fake news is possible ku social media, but that doesn't stop you from using it. Tekikugaana kugikuusanga reference, your number one reference okufuna amawulire. Get the news, compare with mainstream, compare with other sources, or reaching a conclusion ezizo tokkiriza kulowoleza.
Look how long the world took to find out that we in Africa don't live on trees, that we in Africa have phones, that we in Africa live in homes, like beautiful homes. How long did it take the world? I mean, 2017, I was in Texas, and the kids were genuinely shocked that I knew English.
Wow.
I'm like,
that's crazy.
What? What have the media fed you about what Uganda is or what Africa is for that matter? So the truth is the media decides your perception of someone or of a certain place. And so I found that in Israel, the things we hear versus the things we saw are absolutely two different. You need to see it for yourself.
Exactly.
You need to come to Africa for yourself. You need to come to Uganda. You need to go to Rwanda. You need to go to Congo. You need to go to Nigeria. You need to go to Ethiopia. You need to go to Egypt to see that, we even rarely have trees.
You're right.
We're cutting down trees, but you think I live in a tree next to Timon and Pumbaa. No, no, I don't.
Yeah.
So if by the time the world misrepresented Africa, be sure that the world is misrepresenting other places, including the US where you are.
Exactly.
I mean, I came to the US, I thought there would be gold on the pavements. I was so disappointed to find poor people in the US. Bonnie, what are those poor people doing? Let's send them to Africa.
Ne potholes. There are potholes in America, there are potholes in Bungereza. Of course, for them, there are some light years ahead of us in terms of controlling ebifuluma eggwanga lyabwe So they won't take pictures or videos of the bad side. Bajja kutwala mu New York bakulage good buildings. Bajja kutwala London bakulage Tower Bridge, bakulage ebifo ebirungi. They won't show you the bad side of London, the ghettos, the rough neighborhoods. Tebajja zikulage ezo. Naye nga when they come to Africa, kibafocusingako kugenda. I have to be careful here. Kugenda mu areas where abantu baavu nnyo nga abaana bali malnourished, bayika eminyira, essaati ziyulise. They don't come to the neighborhoods where people have mansions that are a dream for most people abali mu US. Tebajja kujja muyenga, tebagenda kugenda ekkolo, bajja kugenda in a camp where kids are so badly off, bafune ebifaananyi ebyo babitwale, of course for funding. Down the road watch following, they make money out of it. Their organizations, ebintu nga UN, they make money off abana bafe. Media chikulaga how bad and how deceptive, in the language of Manuella, webali. You have to be extremely, extremely careful. Filter whatever you're being fed.
Because it looks, you said Africa is one with poor people. Send those poor people. The people in America are poor.
Exactly.
It's not even funny. Where they live, I was like, is this the America? Why do they decide for which country things look good and for other countries it looks pathetic?
Yeah.
I promise you, I came to the US. I remember that all I had to share was, guys, there's also rubbish here. Mm-hmm. Guys, there's also poor people here. Friends.
Yeah.
The media just decided what to get out of the US for us. So same thing is happening with Israel and probably with Iran.
That was a very powerful segment. Njakusabukawo obudde. Go and watch the entire episode. The next come description, video once. I'll just click and watch. You learn a thing or two. And Mbozi, one thing I've come to learn from listening to podcasts, you can listen as you cook. You can listen as you do anything else. Wetagabet as earphones. Listen. You pick up so much. You learn a lot from the experiences of people. I think Manuella has been around for some time. I was so surprised to Okulida Mbozi. No spoilers here, but I learned a lot. There are parts where she talks about speaking to God, and Jakoma, or maybe in another episode, to try and understand what she means by that. Nae, there were powerful conversations. Zamani nyo. Amazing, amazing podcast. Mpa endowooza yo mu comment section wansawo kubyenkonyeko obirowooza koje. Mainstream media okufeedinga information for years nogibayinga. Mpa endowooza yo mu comment section wansawo nja kulaba mu video dako. Peace.